Hello everyone, this is Jesse with you here again on Jesse Lee Polymer Project. So we had an unfinished project before now, of which for those of you who has been following up on our classes and videos, you do get a lot of this, and one way or the other this particular project we had stopped halfway with the quiz for the day, and we had solved the first one and onto the second. We had to respite it up until now. But before that, let's take a quick dive to my social handle. For those of you who might care to reach out for online classes, virtual online classes on physics, math, further mathematics, I'm your guy, really. You don't have to wait it out when you're having such difficulties. I'm always here to help and, you know, show up all the time. So, that being said, let's dive right into what we have. Having a lot of other things on our plate. Um, let's see. Okay, let's go back to what we have. So, question of the day we have: at simple interest, a man made a deposit of some money in the bank. The amount in his bank account after 10 years is three times the money deposited, which is the principal. The money deposited is what we call the principal. If the interest rate stays the same, after how many years will the amount be five times the money deposited? So, what are the basic knowledge you should have? Um, Not place value. We've tackled problems with on place value with the previous question, and now we have you must have a strong background of simultaneous equation and financial arithmetic, of which the last video we gave side notes on simultaneous equations, substitution method to be precise, also recognizing other methods, but then since substitution was handy here, we had to use it. Okay, and then financial arithmetic, of which from the side note it said has various aspects such as profit and loss, compound interest, simple interest, even annuity and amortization. These concepts are very rampant. In other words, they are put to day-to-day use. The benefits of this knowledge are always used from day-to-day um, encounters and all that. So the case study we have here is that of simple interest, as the question eventually cited. I kind of want to rush things up a bit. So let's dive right in. We want to get a full picture of what the question is trying to, you know, give us. So here it said, at simple interest, a man deposited some money in the bank. The amount when it comes to simple interest is given by this: 1 plus r over t divided by 100, all closed in a bracket. This is the formula for amount, and we are going to split this in two sections. They said, firstly, for 10 years, A is equal to 3 times the principal. So we have here 3 times the principal is equal to principal, all in a bracket, 1 plus r. So I'm replacing t with 10 times 10 all over 100. Remember, the rate stays the same. So we call this the first equation. And then for the second equation, they said after how many years? In other words, you're looking at a time which is unknown, and the rate is to stay the same. So, and we want to know the time it would take for that money or that amount to be 5 times the money that was deposited. So at this point, the amount is equal to 5 of the money deposited, and then we now have 5p is equal to principal, all in the bracket, 1 plus rate over time over 100, sorry, all in the bracket close. Okay, so here we know that r stays the same, and I'm calling this equation 2. So we're going to take a short peek at this and then get back to the board so that we can solve this. Okay, final peek and the board we have there. So let me replicate everything that we've said so far on that question. So we have for t equal to 10 years, A is thrice of the money deposited, and thrice of the money deposited is equal to the money deposited, all in the bracket, 1 plus the rate over t, of which I said the t should be equal to 10. So we have times 10, and we call this equation 1. And then for time unknown, the amount was 5 times the money deposited. And then we have 5p is equal to principal, all in the bracket, 1 plus RT over 100. Okay, so back to this. This being our equation 2, let's go back to the equation 1. They said that the rate stays the same. In other words, I want to make rate subject of the formula. And from the first equation, we can see that a 0 will take out a 0 here. And then we now have p, all in a bracket, 1 plus r over 10, all in a bracket close. So we are looking at, for equation 1, thrice of the money deposited is equal to p bracket 1 plus r over 10 bracket close. And then making r subject of the formula, p gets to cancel out p, and then we have 3 is equal to 1 plus r over 10. So 1 gets to cross over, then we have, or you could say subtracting 1 from both sides, 1, and then we have r over 10. So we have 2 is equal to r over 10, of which we multiply through by 10. 10 gets to cancel out 10, and r is equal to 20%. So here rate is equal to 20%, and then we're going to plug it into equation 2 and then find what t is, because that is what is unknown. So plug in values. We have 5 of p is equal to p, all in the bracket, 1 plus 20 times t, all over 100 bracket close. So at this point, p gets to cancel out p, and then we have 5 is equal to 1 plus 20t over 100, of which we subtract 1 from both sides. We have 5 minus 1 is equal to 20t over 100. So at this point, we have 4 is equal to 20t over 100. And here we are looking at this goes here, this goes here. 2 divides through, this divides through, and then we have 4 is equal to t over 5. We multiply through by 5. 5 gets to cancel 5, and t is equal to 20 years. So in 20 years, the amount would be 5 times the money that was deposited. So this is a no-brainer. Most students might mistake the entire case of amount, simple interest, but just know that the amount has to be summed up with your simple interest. So that is the case. Now, this particular presentation wouldn't have been possible without the sponsorship of a few persons, and I want to take out this time to especially mention them: the Asili Polymer Project, Midas Touch Academy, Sir Darlington and Sir Augustine Abai, their brothers, Dr. Victor Root, and then we have Pinterest also. All these are people who had made strong contributions one way or the other. So you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is very important. Subscribe to this YouTube channel at Just Your Precious at Midas Touch V2F, and then reach out to me through the phone number as you can see on the screen, and I'll be hoping to see you soon. Thank you and bye bye.